is this is Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm Owen James, and this is all your latest Rangers transfer news. Right, so one of the biggest sagas of this summer has been the Todd Cantwell saga. I think most Rangers fans are getting to the point where they are heartily sick to death of Todd Cantwell and what is going on with him, and just want him gone from the club now. Look, I think Todd one day will sit down and will reflect on his time at Rangers and reflect on what mistake that he has made in terms of the way he's conducted himself at the club. He had a great opportunity here to become an absolute cult hero, to become a real hero for the fans. At times, his performances were absolutely fantastic, and at times he ran the game and he looked just different class. And I think if you'd asked most Rangers fans after the first half season that he played in Scotland, is Todd Cantwell going to be a future star for Rangers? Is he going to develop into a cult hero? Is he going to develop into a player to build a team around? I think most of us would have said absolutely bang on. I think he was even potential. After that first half a season, that you could have been talking Matt O'Reilly numbers for Todd Cantwell if he'd continued as he had, that first half a season. But then it all seemed to fall away so badly with the inconsistent form at times, the inconsistency in the Old Firm games, the social media activities, the TikTok Todd brand, his off-field spats with Chris Sutton, the whole getting distracted by what was going on off the park rather than focusing on what he was doing on the park. But I think that's just brand Cantwell, and I think these days modern footballers, that's the way they're going. It's brand them, isn't it? It's all about their image. It's about public image. It's about social media usage. It's about building their brand, building their money, building their sponsorships, and building all their deals and things. And that's where we're at now, as a nation, really, not just as a football club. So Todd Cantwell, we know that obviously he handed in a transfer request. We also know that he is refusing to play for the B team after what was said by Philippe Clement the other day. However, he is still training, which means he's not technically in breach of contract. There was talk of terminating his contract, which I think is not a good move, because if you terminate the guy's contract, then you've got to pay his contract up. If you pay his contract up, that's going to cost several £1 million, money we probably really could be better used on something else. Also, if you're getting rid of an asset for nothing, you're really cutting your nose off to spite your face at the end of the day. You really do need to get funds into the football club. And I think, if we can generate some funds, any funds for Todd Cantwell, I know the transfer market value is £8 million, which I think is utterly ludicrous and nowhere near what he'd actually go for. But, if you can generate somewhere in the region of £1.5 to £2.5, £3 million for him, £3.5 million, something like that, that would be a good return on the player, especially as he cost nothing. He was free. So any salary, any transfer fee is technically a profit on him. That's the way it works. Obviously, less signing on fees, etc., etc. So there are two clubs reportedly showing an interest in signing Todd Cantwell. One is Burnley FC. That's Turf Moor, their ground. Burnley apparently are in for Todd Cantwell. Now, this is an extra name over and above what was originally linked. Blackburn Rovers were the name. We'll get to them in a minute, but it's now Burnley. Now, Burnley were in the Premier League last year, but were relegated. And obviously as well, their manager, Vincent Kompany, was sacked, got rid of, and he went off to manage Bayern Munich, which I think is absolutely incredible, to go from being relegated to the Premier League to then going to be a manager of one of the biggest clubs in world football. Their new manager is Scott Parker. Now, Scott Parker has a relationship with Cantwell. He has worked with him previously, so knows Todd Cantwell, knows his style, knows the way he plays. And Burnley are looking to strengthen their squad to get themselves straight back up to the Premier League. Now, they did lose on Saturday. I think it was 1-0 away at Sunderland. They're looking to obviously bounce back, and they can see Cantwell has been a signing that could come in and lift their squad. So, that is one possibility for Cantwell, is to head off to Burnley. This would obviously be an interesting proposition for him. He would also see this as possibly, being a situation where he could actually get into the Premier League back into the Premier League very quickly. Burnley have in the past used a 10 that they haven't been recently because they haven't got one. I can't remember the guy's name. They had a guy on loan last season who played there. He's not there anymore. So that is one possibility. The other possibility, like I've just mentioned a moment ago, is Blackburn Rovers. According to the Blackburn media and according to media down here in England, John Eustace, who is the Blackburn manager, has expressed an interest in Todd Cantwell. Now, Blackburn are as a team short on midfielders. Hence why, of course, they're not going to sell us Lewis Travis. Now, Blackburn do need to recruit. They do need to add to their squad. They do need to add midfielders. Todd Cantwell, obviously, being an attacking midfielder, would definitely suit Rovers. He would definitely, fit into their style, into their formation. They do play with a 10 as well. Now, Blackburn apparently are looking to replace their departed 10 from last season, Sammy Smodic. Sammy Smodic, who scored over 20, was the top goal scorer in the Championship last season. Went off to join Ipswich in the Premier League this season. Smodic was a very good at goal scoring, attacking 10. Now, Cantwell, obviously, we know his goal scoring is not one of his strong points, but he is creative. He does like to roam everywhere. He does like to go to the wings. He does like to come into the middle. Not really what Clement wants from a 10, but that is what Smodic did last season for Blackburn. So it would be kind of like for like. I mean, don't think Cantwell's anywhere near as good as Sammy Smodic, but it would be a very similar replacement. So that's why there could be some legs in this story. Now, what is good news for Rangers, obviously, is if we can push through and genuinely pour into the club this interest from Burnley and Blackburn, is you've got two clubs who are aspirational, two clubs, obviously, that want to have a good season in the EFL Championship. Burnley with the aid, obviously, probably of trying to get promoted automatically. Blackburn maybe sort of knocking around the playoff places. So there is really a need there, I think, for those two clubs to bring in a 10, a creative 10. So, if we can get both clubs interested, we could get a little bidding war going on. If we get a little bidding war on, we could raise a little bit of extra money. So, look, it's positive. I think, whatever happens between now and Friday's deadline, the clubs, the representatives of Cantwell need to do whatever they can to try and get these deals done and over the line. We do not want to be sitting here on the 31st of August with Todd Cantwell still on Rangers paybook, still a Rangers player, and still in an impossible situation where he's not going to ever play for us at the club again, due to the fact that, obviously, number one, I honestly believe his relationship with the manager is broken down beyond repair, and his relationship with a good percentage of the fan base is broken down beyond repair. I think this is the move forward. Hopefully we can get one of these two clubs in and get them to sign Todd Cantwell. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think a reasonable fee for Cantwell would be. There's been no mentions yet of what possible fees have been bandied around by Burnley and Blackburn, or whether it would be loans with options to buy or loans with obligations to buy, or what the terms of the contract are. It does seem at a very early stage, but we are already obviously on Tuesday. There's still a few more days to go over the window. I think it's 4 more days, isn't it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 4 more days to go in the window. It's a chance to obviously get this deal over the line. Guys, let me know what you think. And as always, on the way out, if you can smash the like, please do it. And also remember, one thing I always ask you to do, remember, we are the people.